Hey gang, it's Azseth. In about 20 seconds, I'm going to shut my mouth for 38 consecutive seconds. Before then, the link for this entire video is below. Watch it. It's chock full of insight, knowledge, wisdom. The profound importance to take away is in regards to having a way to challenge liberals and Democrats in a non-offensive and non-insulting way and opening dialogue instead of closing it.
So blacks gained a tremendous amount of political clout with this strategy. The problem is that the rest didn't happen the way it was supposed to. In other words, if you look at what happened in Marion Barry's Washington, D.C., or Sharp James's Newark, or Coleman Young's Detroit, the black poor became more impoverished on their watch. Which is not
This
to say that there's a causal link here, that because there were black mayors, we didn't see black advancement, because this black advancement didn't occur under white mayors and white
Right.
governors and white congressmen too.
Thank you. Check the video out. Now I'm going to go on my own personal spiel. I did not say this video is for leftists. Leftists do not listen. If a Democrat or a liberal is a leftist, they will not listen, but all Democrats and liberals are not leftists. Leftists, again, not a self-described leftist, but what a leftist is according to me, which is, for clarity, anyone who believes big government's the answer, not personal rights. They'd rather take your $80 of your $100 to dictate where they think it goes, as opposed to take the 20 and let you dictate where your 80 goes. Infringement, lack of self-protection rights, personal property rights, that kind of thing. That if that you think that should be in the hands of the government because we don't deserve it, you're a leftist. Liberals and Democrats can be convinced. They can listen. Not all, but we as individuals need to work on our approach. Like I said earlier, you need to open dialogue and not close it. And the onus is on you, not the other person. This is one thing I want to say. I wrote it down because I just wanted to make sure it didn't slip away. But you don't need to convince that person that you are right. Okay? What you need to do is convince them or get them to question whether they are right. That's what's important. When you shake that foundation of their knowledge, they're gonna try to fill those gaps with something if they doubt, and let them do that. Maybe and that's why I say it opens the door. I didn't say convince them that they're right, because they may ask you, well, what do you mean? They may just say, I'm not talking to you. They may go home and think about it. They may just say, I'm not being your friend anymore, and that's ignorant on their part. But let them take that next step. Give them the chance to approach you. Now, maybe you know the person, and depending on the context of the conversation, but this is more for if it's a more random conversation, a more casual, off the cuff conversation, where again, you may just be talking to someone while you're waiting somewhere, and this may come up. And again, it's a non offensive way where you want to get them to not say, hey, you know what, you guys did this and ruined this. Well, if they said the same to you, you would just instantly close up. Likely. Maybe not. We have, this is not a universal way. This is, again, a more topical way about it. I don't know. But I'm very keen on the concept of getting communication to stay open. And I say this as very often, but I'm going to say it again because it's relevant in this context. We often say treat people as they want to be treated. If you want to keep communication open between you and an individual, even keep this in mind, even if they're not the individual you are communicating directly with, other people are listening. You need to speak to them as they want to be spoken to. That means, me for example, if I was out somewhere and a Trump supporter was ragging on someone else, a Biden supporter, but being belligerent and disrespectful, racial, rude, condescending, I would step in because it's the principle of the matter. And they will see that, and it will balance out the ignorant Trump supporter in that regard. Oh my gosh, that thought just slipped my mind. This is the problem and why I try to write stuff down. I'm going to try to pause it for a second. I got it. And I had to write it down again because my mind it's towards the end of the day and trying to get everything done. Now I'm going to slow down. Treat others as they want to be treated is the point. I use the example of myself also. I did time in the Marine Corps is what I was going to say, but I'm going to go with it. I've been cussed at a lot. I've been treated disrespectfully and like an object. So if someone were to come up to me and do that, even casually, jokingly, or seriously, depending on our relationship, I may be okay with it. Whereas a lot of people would immediately take offense. But that would be based on the fact that you would understand that that's how would desire to, or it's acceptable to be treated that way, or that I even desire to be treated that way. And that is where people generally fail because we are taught and we are told that directly, treat others as you want to be treated. But again, I talk and focus a lot about that. We view the world through the lens of our own bias, and we have it subconsciously. We do it a lot, and you have to check yourself with that. Be self-aware. I'm going to end it there before I start rambling on and going on to a 15-minute video. Again, try to approach conversations. Challenge yourself. I mean, that's just a big thing. Whether it's expanding your vocabulary, watching other people have conversations, find moderate people, or this is going to sound crazy, absolutely crazy. Talk to someone you disagree with and listen to what they have to say. Then take that away and come up with some counterpoints. Engage them at a later time. I didn't understand what you meant when you say this. When you use this term at this outlet, it says it's this. Do you mean that? Because it doesn't sound like what I think you mean when you say that, or it's not the way I use it. The conversations may accidentally happen. Whoopsie. With that said, I'm going to go because I almost went off on my 15-minute ranty tirade thing. I'm going to go to bed shortly. Hope you all have a great day and or night wherever you are. Go easy, gang.